Welcome back to Around the Block Volleyball. We're getting close to the end of the NCAA volleyball regular season, so this week we're going to talk about each of the top teams' most important games so far and which of their last games they need to perform in to show us that they're ready for the NCAA national tournament. But first things first, we got to talk about the crazy Halloweekend in NCAA volleyball that we just had. So many upsets.
Yeah, I think there's some teams where, the Halloween passed by just okay. Other teams, they definitely got haunted. For sure.
Yes. It was a spooky time for a couple of key teams. Let's just say it straight up. Texas, not their best week. They're not undefeated anymore.
Not undefeated, and then they dropped all the way down to 4 here in the AVCA rankings.
Yeah, I mean, it was two pretty big losses, and let's just go right away, running through the list of crazy upsets we had. So first, the Texas A&M 3-2 win over Texas.
Yeah, that was the big one that set the tone for how Halloweekend was going to go.
Yep. But additionally, we had Iowa State beating ASU 3-2. Iowa State unranked, by the way.
Mm-hmm. ASU definitely took a drop here as well.
Yeah, that's tough. UNC won 3-2 over SMU, so that raised their ranking, dropped SMU down a little bit more. Arizona, regular Arizona, beat TCU 3-0.
Regular Arizona's crazy.
Yeah, not state.
Yeah.
But yeah. TCU, not having a good time just generally recently.
Yeah, also dropped here.
Yeah. Then Mizzou showed up a little bit. They beat Tennessee 3-1. So hopefully they're going to get close to the rankings again.
Yeah, and then Tennessee taking a drop as well.
Yep. Then we have Colorado beating Baylor 3-1. In my mind, low-key had Colorado ranked a little higher than Baylor already. So I don't consider it that big of an upset, but in the rankings, Baylor was ahead.
Yeah.
Then we had Michigan winning 3-2 over Penn State.
I mean, I guess it's an upset, but in the rankings, Penn State is.
It is.
They're barely holding on now. They're at 25.
I'd still consider it an upset because even within the Big Ten,
you
would consider Penn State to be above, or at least maybe at the same tier as Michigan. So maybe not too much of an upset, but maybe a little bit ahead before this, but now here they are. Then on Saturday, we had USC beating Minnesota 3-2, another 5-set banger.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty close, so this one wasn't too crazy, and I think honestly in most people's minds with how Minnesota's been kind of trailing off later into the season with all the injuries and stuff, USC's getting hot. I think this one kind of made sense. So
yeah, Minnesota, they had a much worse dip earlier in the season, I'll say.
Yeah.
They're looking a little bit better than where they were, but that was a rough place that they were.
And also just catching USC as they're getting hot.
Yeah. And then on Sunday, we had another crazy game. Kentucky beat Texas 3-0.
Yeah.
Indiana beat Penn State 3-0. So, yeah, solidifying those Big Ten rankings. But then we also had South Carolina beating Florida 3-1. Florida just can't hold on to that ranking every time they just pop in.
Yeah, they're just in and out a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, that was a crazy Halloween weekend. Going in, not expecting that much. I thought maybe Friday we were going to have some pretty good games, some fun games to watch.
There were definitely good games.
Yeah.
The winners were not who we expected.
Not what I expected, especially that A&M. That was a big win for them.
Yeah.
Looking up, making our early preseason Texas A&M predictions looking a little bit better.
It feels a little bit better, yeah. We were definitely thinking Final Four.
Yeah.
Around that range, Elite Eight for sure.
You're like, oh yeah, high end, we can get them there.
Yeah.
But it's starting to look like it. Yeah. Now let's move on to the main part of our episode where we're just going to go through the top teams. We're going to see how we can do on time as well, see how far down the top team list we want to go.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about some of the key matches they've had already in the season, and then kind of what we think are going to be their most important matches to end the season where, we want to see them perform well, and that'll set the tone for the national tournament for them. Mm-hmm. Let's kick it off right away with the number one team, still at number one. We got Nebraska.
Yeah, I think for me, what I picked out was for their biggest game so far. I actually picked out the Penn State game.
Yeah, that was a really big one.
Yeah, again, I think understanding where Penn State is at now as a quality of team, they've definitely dipped a lot compared to the preseason where everyone was thinking they were going to be at.
Yeah.
But again, I think that statement of, hey, you guys beat us last year, you upset us in that reverse sweep to get to the national championship, and then we're getting our revenge now. And then that 25-6 first set, to me, that was all the statement and domination that I needed to see. That Nebraska is on a mission this year. They're really gunning for it this year. And I think they definitely had what it takes. And that was a huge thing for them, I think, just to, get Penn State out of their mind, beat them, and then not have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, I think that was definitely like a mental goal or maybe like hurdle that they wanted to get over with. And they most definitely did.
Yeah.
Other games that I picked just because they ended up being 5-setters, and Nebraska really didn't play too many of them. They had the 5-setter versus Kentucky early in the season, and as well Creighton both early in the season.
Yeah.
Pre-conference play, of course. I think those were just two of the games where they end up getting pushed a little bit more, where obviously they have not been getting pushed as much in the Big Ten. They are on now like a, 38 game, or 38
it's like 40
set,
now.
Yeah,
I think it's like
40 something
40
set wins like in a row win streak. They are brutalizing and terrorizing the Big Ten right now.
Yeah, I don't think they're really giving anyone a chance, honestly.
Yeah. This one, not as much to talk about because every game has been a stomp. Yeah. But yeah, that Penn State game, super big emotional hurdle to kind of get over with. And then now just talking about what games they have moving forward. Not too much, but just for fun's sake, I wanted to say basically every game that they have left because I want to see how long their set win streak can last.
Yeah.
How far can they go? Can they finish off the Big Ten without dropping another set?
Yeah.
Possible. And then, get through the national tournament. How far in the national tournament are they going to get before they end up dropping a set?
Yeah.
I'm very interested in that part just because this Nebraska team, especially now with the fall of Texas, they're looking unstoppable.
Yeah, and then just from earlier in my notes, I did this earlier on, so this was kind of like around the Halloweekend. I did actually put the Wisconsin game in here. Mm-hmm. Little did I know that they were going to go on to 3-0 them.
Yeah.
So again, I think that was a pretty important game too, knowing the quality of a Wisconsin team, even without Charlie Furbringer. Mm-hmm. They've been doing really well. And honestly, like the way that Nebraska handled them was really, really insane to watch. I think they made it look like they were clearly on a different tier. I think everyone knew that, but, again, seeing it, reminding ourselves about it against, again, a pretty good team, and making it look really easy, again, just shows how strong Nebraska is, man.
Yeah, I mean, Nebraska is literally just brutalizing every team they play against. Although sometimes sets are close, but it feels like it's the other team playing to their utmost ability, and then Nebraska also not fulfilling their full capacity.
Yeah, and I mean they've had control of most of those sets anyways too. So I think they're definitely, there's times where they're chilling.
Yeah,
you can kind of see it.
Yeah. Pretty much the main games that they have left in the season are just the national tournament games, and then if you care about the win streak, then that as well.
Yeah, I mean they do have a couple of the ranked teams still left, but again, it's Nebraska, so we expect those to be wins.
Yeah, and it's also not even the top ranked teams.
So I guess it's watch those because those are the ones that they're probably more challenged in to see if maybe they are going to drop a set. Who knows? I think it's a pretty bold prediction to say that they're not going to win. They're not going to lose a set at all during the Big Ten.
That's why you watch every single game they got left.
Yeah,
just to see the hype of it.
But man, they look like they can do it.
Yeah,
they really look like they can do it.
But now let's just move on to our number 2 team, where we have the newly crowned Kentucky as the number 2 team in the nation.
Yeah.
So their top 2 games that I've had down are that Nebraska game that I mentioned previously, where they were the ones to push Nebraska all the way. It was probably the game where Nebraska felt like they legitimately struggled the most this entire season.
Yeah. Again, it was weird because it was really early on.
Yeah.
No one really knew what to expect from either team at that point, but yeah, that was a really great game.
Yeah, so you can tell that at least this Kentucky team has it in them to do it.
Yeah.
Now, development-wise amongst both teams, we're not sure how it's going to stand because they still have to face each other even already a month from now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of time to keep improving, but it'll definitely be a banger game if we get there.
Yeah.
And then also the 3-0 versus Texas, I think that was
the obvious one for sure.
Yeah. That's the really, really big one because Texas, of course they lost 3-0, but they were fighting.
Yeah, no, it was definitely not a close or not an easy game for Kentucky to win that. But man, I think you could definitely tell how strong Kentucky is. And I feel like every time you see these two, Brooklyn Delay, Eva Hudson, they always come to play in these big time moments. And they're making it happen, man.
Yeah, there were actually a lot of times during that game where it felt like Texas was regaining control, and I was like, yeah, I knew it. Here comes Texas. They're going to come back. They're not going to, just give us a quick 3-0. This is supposed to be the banger game. But then Kentucky comes out, I think mostly emotionally led by Eva Hudson. They're coming out with a fire, and they wanted to put Texas down.
Yeah, and I feel like their side outs were so easy. I think there were times, and we'll get to it with Texas, but I think Texas didn't really serve them that tough.
Yeah.
Again, they're also outside, so you can always set them, but in system, it's really easy to just set the ball to one of the outsides, whoever's front row, because you can kind of get away with it too, because they're both so great. You just set whoever's front row, they're getting a kill, and they side out really quick. So
and then you still have to watch out for the back row attack of the other outside.
Yeah, and again, Kentucky's, again, when they're running the middle as well, they just become so strong and become really hard to beat. Yeah. They definitely showed it against Texas there.
I think we'll talk a little bit more when we talk about Texas, but Kentucky definitely exposed some of Texas's weaknesses, and I'd say maybe a little bit of lack of growth through the season. Maybe. I feel like Texas has been at a pretty high level, but I feel like there are things where they're not improving too much, and Kentucky took advantage.
Yeah. For me, the game that I picked was the Louisville game at KFC Yum Center. That one to me was really big. They beat their Kentucky rival in 5 there. I don't remember the history of that matchup, how well it's gone for Kentucky, but it kind of feels like Louisville's done pretty well for themselves. But I think this was a huge shot of confidence. This was earlier in the season.
Yeah.
And I think they felt a lot more confident after this game, being able to be, hey, we won on the road. And again, that 1-2 punch that I'm talking about with Brooklyn Delay, Eva Hudson, they both did phenomenal in that game. I think they both hit it was 24 kills, 17 kills for both of them. So they both owned that game. And then again, you were able to get really efficient, good hitting from the other spots too.
Yeah.
I think both their middles got double-digit kills. That's a huge game for them. And then again, beating Louisville, Louisville's a really good team. So definitely a good confidence booster going into conference play.
And then obviously conference play is going pretty well for them.
Yeah.
But to finish out the rest of the season, I'd say that realistically, Kentucky is looking mostly at the SEC tournament to finish that out, because
one of those weird conferences that actually has a tournament.
Yeah, looking a little bit more like the men's side, which I kind of like.
I think it's cool. I think it's just weird when certain conferences do have a tournament and other ones don't.
Yeah, that part makes it weird. I probably had something to do with the size of the conferences, because some of the conferences are getting pretty big.
Yeah, and I think some of them, I would like the conferences that have the tournament, they're trying not to make it too big of a tournament, because then it just taxes the players and the teams. And it kind of sucks for the teams that actually do well in these tournaments, that you're actually more taxed going into the national tournament. Have you won 3-4 games in your own conference tournament, and then you got to go right into the national tournament right after. Yeah,
and you could say it might be bad for teams who kind of underperform in the tournament, where they're entering the national tournament on a low note kind of.
Yeah.
So it's a little weird, but aside from the SEC tournament, they also have this upcoming week where they have ranked-ish teams. They have Mizzou tomorrow, Thursday, probably when we're posting this video.
Yeah.
But then also on Sunday, they have Tennessee, so that's another bigger game for them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's the craziest game, but it's a ranked team, and still a strong team. But I think most of their top matches are behind them or ahead of them in the tournaments.
Yeah. Again, kind of funny. I did this one. This was one of the ones I had in my notes before the game happened. Again, I wrote Texas was that big upcoming game, because now, and it's true, they boosted themselves into the top 2. They're really looking like they're a title favorite. And then, again, this is pushing to take the SEC as well. I know there's a tournament that decides that, but getting that number 1 seed there, I think you definitely feel good about that as well.
Yeah, definitely helps a lot. Now we'll move on to the number 3 ranked team, where now we have Pittsburgh. This one, another very fun one, where for my games, their most important games, I just ended up picking the Olivia Babcock game. So we got the 41 kill game versus Louisville that she had, and then the very recent 45 kill UNC game that she had.
Yeah.
Those absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, dropping 40 bombs in volleyball is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess early on in the season, we were worried. We're like, dude, you can't set her 60 times.
We were
It's
definitely
impossible.
We were definitely guilty of that.
Yeah, and turns out Olivia Babcock is superhuman.
Yeah, she's proven us wrong. I mean, the fact that she has been able to play through these games and do that and take the 70 swings or however many it is and be so efficient too. That is the thing that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Is that every team that they've played against knows what their game plan is. They know that the ball is going to her, and she still is hitting on like 400%.
I mean,
or 40%. Like, it's insane.
Literally every team is game planning against Olivia Babcock because that is what you do against this team.
Yeah, if you're smart.
Yeah, if you want to prepare at all. But god dang, she is dismantling every team's game plan, being like, do you think I care? And then one last game that I wanted to just talk about that they also performed very well in is that they 3-0'd Kentucky earlier on.
Yeah.
So another big performance for this Pitt team, and I think that one also just kind of showed that as a team, you know, they can still handle these big matches.
For sure. Yeah, for me, I picked that Louisville game as well.
Mm-hmm.
And like just reading out the stats is so crazy. Like 41 kills, like we said, but hitting 423 on that game, that's like video game type of stuff. That is insane. Also, looking at the numbers, she took 50 more swings than anyone else. So the fact that you're able to do that, getting 50 more sets than everyone else on your team, and still being able to carry that team, doing really well. And, you know, all the credit to Pitt. I think they've been able to execute what their game plan is, and they've done really well. So it's funny that that's the system, but a lot of teams do that. And Olivia Babcock is the beneficiary, and she's the reason why Pitt has been so good, because she's able to do that, and she's been able to handle the 70-plus swings that she's been getting pretty much every game, it feels like.
It's pretty interesting because I think generally we're on the side of where it's like, yeah, you don't want to like overwork your star players too much. You want to have somewhat of a balanced offense still, and you know, and then in key moments or if you want to point for sure, you'll give it to your star player.
Yeah.
When it's Olivia Babcock, I guess it's just every time give it to her.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely on the side of having the balanced offense, like you're saying, is better. I think that's how you have a better team.
Yeah.
But again, I think dealing with what you have as a team, they've been able to execute it really well, where it's, hey, we know that we have to set Olivia Babcock more balls, and we're going to do it, and it still works out because she's just that talented, which is just insane to think about that she's able to do that. But I guess we kind of knew that. National Player of the Year last year. Yeah. She went on the USA national team. We kind of knew that the talent was there.
It's just absolutely crazy that they're succeeding. Like
yeah. Seeing it happen is ridiculous. Yeah, it's not that we're not taking it for granted. It is insane what she's doing.
Yeah, honestly, I picked earlier Mimi Collier to be my National Player of the Year, and then Olivia Babcock said, "Shut up, you're stupid."
The jinx continues.
Turned it up to 11.
Yeah.
Maybe not even 11. She turned it up to like freaking 15, and I was like, yeah, that's my award to win.
Yeah, I mean, she's really looking to get 2 in a row. Mm-hmm. And I can't blame anyone for if you vote for her. I think right now, at least that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think she's got that for sure with the way that she's playing.
Yeah.
Especially with how good the team has been playing too.
Yeah.
You're winning games and you're dropping 40 kills super efficiently. I think that's your award to win.
And then speaking of winning games, for their upcoming games that are pretty important for them, it's who exactly you'd expect. They have a game versus Stanford on November 14th and then Louisville on November 26th. And that pretty much is going to decide who wins the ACC. Right now, it's looking like it should be Pitt. Should be. But I guess you never know. If they lose both those games, then it's open seison for anybody. Who knows? It could be the craziest finish to an ACC conference play that we've ever seen.
It is pretty close.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm going to say definitely that Stanford game is the most important for them. I think, you know, I'm the one that's riding high with Stanford right now. I'm the one that predicted that Stanford is going to win the conference. I'm still rocking with my pick. But Pitt is making it really difficult. So we'll have to see how that game goes. I'm definitely going to want to watch that one because, again, 2 really good teams. Can Stanford find a way to actually slow down Olivia Babcock? Not a lot of teams have even remotely found a chance of how to figure that out.
If there's a defense that's going to be here to try and test her, it's going to be Stanford. They are...
For the ACC.
Yeah. Talking about the ACC, yes. It will be them to test them. But, you know,
this is a tough situation that they're trying to handle, defend Olivia Babcock, or even just slow her down.
Yeah, it's easy to beat a defense when you have a cheat code.
Yeah, but if Pitt wins that, they win the ACC, they are definitely looking very dangerous when it comes to the national tournament.
Now let's move on to number 4, the new number 4. We got Texas here.
Mm-hmm.
So they have moved down, but for their top games, I mean, realistically, I'm going to have to say this past weekend's games.
For sure.
I mean, they've had great wins previously. Mm-hmm. Say I had down Louisville 3-2, Tennessee 3-2, where that's where they were tested.
Yeah.
But now this is where they're really being tested, where they took their first losses against Texas A&M and Kentucky. In those losses, I think this is kind of where Texas will feel the urgency to actually improve. Maybe for like the first time really during the season, where I think prior it was like, okay, we're going to just keep playing our game. We're going to let the freshmen, adapt to playing at the NCAA level. We're going to start meshing together as a team because there's a lot of new players.
Yeah, it is pretty new.
Yeah, we're taking it slow, We're just going to figure everything out. Now that they've taken these losses, and they're tough losses.
Yeah.
Especially mentally. It's going to be like, okay, yeah, now we're really getting close to the end of the season. Our weaknesses have been exposed.
Yeah.
So now how are we going to learn from this?
Yeah, and I agree. I think honestly, if you're Coach Elliott here, I think you actually, it sucks to lose, but I think it's actually a good thing that they lost now.
Yeah.
I think it's better that they can address these problems that they've had for their team and really dial those in, where now when you do come into the national tournament, those things are dialed in. You've perfected those as close as you can get. And then again, they're a really dangerous team. Like you were saying, like the freshmen have been blowing me away with how good they've been. Mm-hmm. I'm the Kari Spears #1 fan. Apparently, that's just how it is. Freshman of the year, and all that.
Yeah.
But Abby Vanderwall again has been playing really well.
Mm-hmm.
I again also picked that A&M game, and that was definitely rough to see. Going down 2-0 looked really, really bad. Mm-hmm. But then they brought it back, and then they lost in the 5th set. But Abby Vanderwall has been very impressive. I think in system, she's definitely been really, really solid.
Yeah.
I think when she gets like the out of system balls, or it's tougher.
Yeah, you can see the freshmen.
It's difficult to figure out how to navigate that, especially with college level players. But I think it boils down to their serve and pass. Mm-hmm. I think their serving has. We've kind of said it. It just has not been that intimidating or not that strong.
Yeah. Especially relative to the other top teams, they're not as great of a serving team.
Yeah, and it's not even necessarily just the aces that they get or how many they get.
Mm-hmm.
It's even just strategic serving. I feel like it just hasn't really been there to really force teams out of system, put them under some sort of pressure and serve receive. Mm-hmm. I think, again, if they just dial that in and, more of their passing too.
It'll help a lot.
They're definitely going to be dangerous again.
Yeah.
They dropped from 2 to 4, man. It's not that crazy, but it shows that there were some weaknesses, though.
I've literally been saying, I've said it since weeks and weeks ago. I probably said it this week 2 of the season, where I was like, Texas serving is not impressing me relative to how great the rest of their team is and how the rest of their play is.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what I'm alluding to with these 2 games being the most important, where those are not the only issues that they have as a team, but these issues just haven't been urgently addressed, not been a priority for them. And now that they are finally being exposed for it, now this is the time where they should finally be going, wait a second, we've been getting away with it. Now we can't anymore, especially against these top teams.
Yeah.
We need to lock in. We need to do better. And I think they're probably going to start upping it a little bit more. Maybe we're going to see a couple more errors for these last couple games in the season, but that's fine. You take those, especially if your goal is to win a national championship this year.
For sure. And again, this is going to keep happening because this is just when I took the notes or when I did them. But funny enough, I put Kentucky as that game upcoming that was supposed to be really important. Mm-hmm. We know what happened. They got 3-0'd.
Yeah.
But to me, that game was really huge for them. I think had it gone the other way, Texas won. It didn't have to be in a 3-0. If they won it all, I think that would have been a lot of confidence for Texas to gain back.
Yeah.
To really feel like, okay, hey, we took that loss to A&M, but we beat Kentucky. We proved what we got, and they would go on to be able to win that SEC tournament. Now that still can happen. Mm-hmm. It just is a lot more rough now having lost to Kentucky.
Yeah. Now, this is where, for my upcoming game, this is where I just ended up picking the November 7th. So this Friday, I picked that as their big game because this is going to be their bounce back game where they have had practices to start addressing these issues. You know, earlier against Kentucky, sure, you can be like, okay, we really had no time to, really, really practice and dial in on these things.
Yeah, it might have been like Halloween weekend too.
Yeah, exactly.
Could have been stuff going on.
You don't have time to make those improvements. Now you've had a week to kind of talk about it, review film, just have practices, I guess. But now you're on Friday, you're playing against a good team. This is your bounce back game. This is Florida, so it's not a bad team at all.
For sure, yeah. I mean, especially given the rest of their schedule, this is a game where
this is one where you lock in.
Matters.
Yeah, so this is definitely the key game for them. Obviously, aside from just the SEC tournament, that's obviously important. But this is one where we're going to kind of be looking to see, okay, what's going to change from these past two games? Or are they just going to go, we're the better team, we've been playing better, we're just going to continue our style of play, that's how we're going to beat Florida. But if we don't see any improvements there, I don't know when we're going to see it.
Yeah. And quickly, just back on the games that they did lose. I kind of thought about this because you're talking about how they bounced back as a team. I thought it was actually very important to see how Kari Spears and Abby Vanderwall, how did they bounce back after, when they didn't play as great or in the losses, facing some adversity for the first time. I think it's really important. So again, now having lost to both those games, I do really want to see how it looks against Florida. Will they come back? Will they be locked in? And they're going to come back with some vengeance, even though it's not the same teams. But again, how do they respond? I think that's really important. Because again, those two freshmen are so important for this team.
Yeah.
Like if they're dialed in, this team again is very, very dangerous. So definitely looking to see how they do against Florida and then that SEC tournament.
Speaking of freshmen who are performing very, very well, let's move on to the number 5 team here. We got one of your favorite teams. We have Stanford.
Yes. They got a lot of freshmen too that are doing really well.
Exactly. And then for my key game that I picked for them, this is more of just how things ended up being results-wise, but I picked their 2-3 loss to Texas earlier in the season, and this is the game where Taylor Yu went down injured, and we started to see Logan Parks take over, and, well, I guess she just did fully take over.
Yeah.
But now she is the full-time setter for this Stanford team, and she's looking very, very good now.
Yeah, they were doing that 6-2, kind of trying to figure it out what system they wanted to run.
Yeah. Then that didn't work. Then they were like, Taylor Yu, you just take it over. And then Logan Parks was not getting too much playing time for a couple games. She was getting subbed in here and there, but we didn't see too much of her. Now, after Taylor Yu got injured, she had to sit out a couple of games after this.
Yeah.
Logan Parks takes over. Things start getting worked out. She doesn't have to focus on both the setting and the attacking side.
Yeah.
She just works on the setting. Things start working out. Things start looking a lot better.
Yeah, she looks a lot more comfortable actually in the 5-1, which is really good. Which is really great to see. I definitely feel a lot better now seeing her in the 5-1. And I agree. I also had her in, I don't know if you mentioned it yet, but I had this Louisville game. That loss to Louisville, I thought that was very important. Again, ACC rivals here. That one's really tough to end up losing. But again, you do have a lot of freshmen on this team. Figuring out how they respond to that loss against one of the top teams, I think that's going to be really important.
Yeah, I mean, I think that loss to Louisville was also important just in general for their ACC standings.
Yeah, I mean, they would have been undefeated had they not lost that not lost that game.
Although, let's be fair here, they have a tough schedule ahead of them.
For sure.
They're very heavily loaded on tough teams at the back end of their schedule.
Yeah, I mean, they were just taking care of business earlier in the conference schedule, for sure.
Yeah, which could be a good thing because we have seen a lot of good things and a lot of good improvements from this young team.
Yeah.
So it's probably better for them that they got to ease their way in a little bit more, even though they did have a tougher start to the season with some tougher matchups like this Texas team. But then for their upcoming games, since we're already kind of talking about it, November 14th, they got Pitt. November 16th, they got SMU. November 29th, they got Louisville.
Yeah.
So, a lot of tough matches. They already lost to Louisville once. Maybe they're going to get their get back here.
Yeah.
But it's the chance for a lot of these freshmen to step up again and show what they've learned throughout this first season of theirs.
Yeah, and like we said for Pitt, I had the Stanford game against Pitt to be there to be Stanford's most important. I think, again, this is going to be really huge for the freshmen. I think if you win that game against Pitt, that's a lot of confidence for them that they really feel, hey, we can do this. We're going to be able to go out there and win if we beat a team like Pitt. I think if they're able to do that and maybe secure ACC as that whole conference, you feel really good. And then, hey, who knows what's going to happen in the national tournament? If the freshmen get a bunch of confidence, they start playing really well, they could get hot, and then they could be a really dangerous team in the national tournament still.
Yeah, this is kind of where we're going to have to see things start to lock in. This is where Stanford's kind of really getting their true test, and also kind of where they could drop in these AVCA rankings.
Yeah.
If they go on a string of losses here, 3 losses here, instantly drops them down. Obviously not too far because these are all high-ranked teams, but we've seen Stanford kind of right at this border of the top 4. They've been in 5, 6, 7
for a while.
Area,
yeah.
basically the entire season. Now it's the true test. Can they perform? How do the freshmen deal with these tough games? Because so far, they've just lost.
Yeah.
So it's a big test for Stanford, and we'll see how it goes. But now, let's bring it back to Texas. But we're talking about Texas A&M here, the number 6 ranked team now. Obviously, for their most important game they've played so far, it was their win versus Texas, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Speaking of Halloween nights, I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
That's the spookiness that went on there where, it's the battle for Texas. I know they had that huge Texas trophy afterwards that that A&M was holding, which is a pretty sick trophy, honestly.
They were celebrating like they won the freaking championship.
Yeah. Hey, man. It was pretty sick, though. That Texas
it was a
trophy.
It's a sick trophy.
Was huge, and it was so cool that they were celebrating it. Again, it's really cool for what Coach Jamie Morrison is doing down there, building such a great program. And again, this is really showing the strength of this team, where early on I remember saying, wow, this offense could be really great and being super diverse and super balanced. And this is what I kind of saw, and they proved it right playing against a really good team in Texas. I think this is a coming out party for Kendall Sowers. This is hands down
crazy.
The confidence is sky high right now. She's been so good.
She was the go-to hitter during this game, and this team has Logan Lednicki on it.
Yeah, I think you can kind of tell that her confidence is really high now, and she knows what she can do, what she's capable of against really good teams. And then you still have Logan Lednicki. She will get all the garbage balls, and she will still do really well with those. And then the middle play has been very, very good. I think just the balance on this team is what really, really makes me feel confident on how good they are, and that they are still going to be really hard to beat in the national tournament too.
And I think versus Texas, they showed out in their blocking. Oh my God, were they shutting down Texas. It was so gross.
Yeah, they were definitely making that a huge part of their game, and they proved it there.
They were making Texas go through hell because their blocking was just that good. I mean, I think we said this actually also at the beginning of the season, and it's been a little inconsistent since then.
Yeah.
But we've been like, they are going to be the best blocking team in college volleyball.
Yeah.
Because their blocking was looking absolutely nasty. Things got a little inconsistent during the season. Still a lot of ups and downs, but if this is when A&M decides to really peak, put everything together, look their best,
this is the time to do it.
Yeah, if they ride out the end of the season looking like this, I mean, shoot, put them in the Final Four. I don't know. They can beat these teams.
Uh-oh. We're getting back to the glazing A&M.
I'm back. You got Stanford as your team. Yeah. I got Texas at A&M right here.
Hey, I feel confident in them too. I feel good with the way that they're playing. If Kendall Sowers is still, she doesn't have to do exactly what she did against Texas, but if she's playing that well at that level, this team is going to be very dangerous. I think that was a huge question, was how the left sides will play for A&M. But if she's playing like that, there's no question about it.
For their upcoming games, I only had basically their toughest opponent left, which is Florida.
Me too.
They've pretty much gone through the gauntlet generally so far, and then they're going to have the SEC tournament. Actually, for the SEC teams that we're talking about here, the schedule's pretty much over.
It is actually.
Yeah, they have 4 games maybe at most left.
Yeah.
So not too many official games left for them to play, so not too much for us to talk about, but I think this Florida game is kind of a good way to judge how good, are you guys going to keep playing? Is this you guys just hitting a peak for this Texas game and then coming back down to your average?
Yeah.
Or is this how you're going to ride out the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think so too, especially because we don't know who they're going to be playing in the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
So we can't really say that. But
if they're trying to win, they'll play as many people as they have.
Yeah, Kentucky, Texas, or both. Who knows?
Yeah.
But again, I think the Florida game will be important. I think it is kind of like a prove-it type of game to me. Mm-hmm. Again, not the caliber of teams that they were just playing, but if they do it, then, hey, you feel a lot more confidence in, okay, that is the new norm that they're going to be playing at that level now.
Now let's move on to the number 7 team we have here, where we have Louisville, another really, really good team. Mm-hmm. And then for me, I just picked up a lot of their losses as kind of important games to talk about, where they lost a 5-setter to SMU in the middle of October, and then right after that, they lost a 5-setter to Pitt.
Yeah.
So that was a tough weekend for them, but probably one where they were able to learn a little bit more about themselves, especially because they are also a fairly young team. I mean, Kara Cressy obviously there, but the rest of their players are still pretty young and still have years left. I mean, just off the top of my head, I think everyone else besides Kara Cressy and Chloe Chacoin have...
I think they're underclassmen.
Yeah, they all have like 2 years of eligibility at least.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty young team, and then they were able to go through these kind of like adverse situations. I mean, they're 5-setters versus some of the other top teams in the nation. Mm-hmm. And what I thought was important is that, obviously they lost, so they didn't play perfect, but a lot of their players were still able to step up, try and make big plays. It looked like they were trying to rise to the occasion instead of kind of getting a little scared and backing away.
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of key for them, those 2 games, where I really liked what I saw from Louisville, even in those losses.
Yeah, I think it helps with the Kara Cressy and Niles Cabello, like the swagger that they have, honestly. Mm-hmm. This includes Chloe Chacoin as well, actually, where I think they really have that confidence in themselves and in their team, that I think it helps the younger players feel more confident about their game and be more comfortable. I also picked the Pitt game. I think that was just huge because of the quality of the team that Pitt is.
Yeah.
And they really made that a really close game. It is good for them to be able to gauge against one of the top teams in the nation how they match up against these other really top teams, because, I mean, it is very curious. I'm not really sure how they look.
Yeah.
Against Pitt, we kind of saw how that looked. But again, I think it's really important to see, can they do anything when it's not just feeding Kara Cressy the ball?
Yeah.
I think that has been the big question, because everyone knew that was their game plan going into it. Chloe Chacoin and Peyton Pearson have been pretty good, been solid, but I don't know. I'm not hating on them.
I think these 2 games are also ended up being 2 good games to pick, because this is around the time where Calissa Blackshear started to take up a little bit more of that offensive load.
That's exactly where I was going.
Yeah. So I think these obviously they still lost.
Yeah.
So, but she started to get a little bit more dependable in some situations where before, they want to go to their outside. Yeah. They want to go to Kara Cressy if she's on the court. They actually ended up going to Calissa Blackshear.
Yeah, because kind of where I was going with that was like, what you're getting on Chloe Chacoin and Peyton Pearson on the defensive side. I think that's where they make their money. That's really good for them. But again, trying to struggle to find where their offense was when you aren't always in the system. Mm-hmm. I think with how Calissa Blackshear has shown up, and she's really been able to kind of come into her own on that right side, it's been really, really great. Because again, it helps that she's so physical. I think that's something that kind of holds Chloe Chacoin and Peyton Pearson a little bit back on being like a super go-to hitter.
Yeah.
Again, nothing wrong with how they play. They play great. But I think with Calissa Blackshear, I mean, she's a middle, but she's playing right side.
And she can jump.
Yeah.
Oh,
and she's figuring it out. And she's really gotten some time to get comfortable. And she looks really good. So again, to me, I think that's just kind of the huge progression that they've kind of had recently, that you feel a lot more confident in Louisville knowing that you do have a really good offensive option on the right side too.
Yeah, I mean, there are literally some times where she's like basically OTing people.
Oh yeah, she's hitting over people.
I'm just like, I apologize. I did not know you had that in your game.
Yeah, especially for a middle to do that on the right side. It's not always a really easy transition, like most people kind of think that it would be.
Yeah.
But hitting a high ball, especially out of system, that's very different from anything that you do as a middle.
Especially from that angle where it's coming at you.
Yeah, it's over your shoulder.
Right side.
Yeah, you're a righty. It's a little weird, but she's been really good. And again, freshman, it's so great to see all the freshmen that are playing really well. And Louisville is another one of those teams that has a lot of freshmen on it that are playing really well.
Yeah, but let's talk again a little bit about them diversifying their offenses in these games. I think another important part of that is that Nylas Cabello is really, really stepping into her own, being aggressive on these dumps.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot what game that was, but we saw her get 9 kills.
Yeah, 9 kills.
On
She's
10
had
attempts.
7 kills recently.
Yeah.
There are a lot of like high kill games coming out from her recently, and I think maybe that's now that she has found her hitters a little bit more. She's trying to be like, okay, now how can I help them out by making sure that teams have to worry about me as well.
Yeah.
Because that does help when, say, a player's trying to sit on you, the outside is trying to sit on you.
Yeah.
Then you set the middle, the outside gets fooled a little bit.
Yeah.
They get an open net. Or they get one blocker only instead of normally when it should be 2.
Yeah, I think her getting her teammates one-on-ones is really huge, especially if they can do that in the middle. If they can do that in the middle, I mean, it's money every day.
Yeah.
But I really like what she's been able to do with her offensive game. I think earlier in the season we were kind of like, I like that she's aggressive, but she was doing the same dump over and over.
Yeah, she is also mixing it up now.
Yeah, she was doing like the 2-hand set over into campfire, which it does work, but she was doing it a lot.
Yeah.
She was doing it like 4 or 5 times in a match.
Yeah.
But now she's doing a lot of different things. She's tipping with her left hand a lot more, being really aggressive
Power
with it.
tipping some of them.
Yeah, it's a lot more aggressive and not as much deception. When she is such a physical athlete, I think you have to lean into that and be physical. It's okay to show them that you're tipping sometimes if you're gonna be so aggressive.
Yeah.
So I really like what she's doing too. I think that's a great point that you made. Like I think that really helps the offense. It makes it a lot more diverse. And it's a lot harder to read, where I think early in the season it was, okay, we got Chloe Chacoin, we got Peyton Pearson, we're going to set the outsides, we're going to set the middle when we can.
They're smart players, they'll tip, they'll do whatever.
Yeah, we're just going
to,
we'll let them figure it out. But again, the diversity in the right side and with Nylas Cabello with the setting position, I think that has made the offense a lot more smooth and a lot harder to stop. I think it was a little bit easier to kind of tell what they were going to do earlier on.
I mean, there have been times, especially a lot earlier in the season, where it kind of got locked during some plays where it's like, oh, the ball is going up to whichever of the outsides is there. They're going to have to, they recycled it. Yeah. Okay, try and make it work again. Oh, they have to recycle it again. Yeah. And you're getting kind of stuck in this weird loop where it's like, it's tiring for your team and it's also not very productive.
Yeah, and it's tough. And again, I'm not trying to be mean to Chloe Chacoin or Peyton Pearson. I think that's just their style of game is they are smart. They are able to recycle the ball. They're going to try and, wipe off the block and hit off the block and stuff like that. But, repeated high ball, that I don't think that's how they're able to score. Like when you're in system, you're getting more one-on-ones, you're running tempo. I think that's when they're going to be able to shine offensively. And you're able to do that now with a lot more diverse of an offense. It's going to be a lot harder, so definitely better looking offense now.
Yeah. But then for games that they need to really show up in and kind of where we're really going to judge them, November 26th, we have Pitt. November 29th, we have Stanford. So basically the end of their season.
Yeah.
They're going up against, again, their conference rivals for...
Yeah, conference rivals.
Yeah. Also, just to figure out who's going to get number 1 in this conference.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to see how close it is for this conference. It is a really good conference, given these 3 teams.
Yeah.
Well, there's more, but these 3 are really, really good right now. SMU is right there, but I think it's really huge. I also put Pitt. I think if they are able to win that game, that's going to be a huge step up for them.
Yeah.
Again, can they figure out a way to stop Olivia Babcock? I think that's just the game that you play against when you're playing against Pitt.
Yeah.
If they're able to do that, I think that's going to be really interesting to see. Like, oh, hey, this Louisville defense is nothing to scoff at. Yeah. Like, we know about their blocking. Kendrick has gotten a lot better as a libero spot. So we'll see. I think if they're able to do something defensively that slows Olivia Babcock down, even if it's a close game, if they go 5 again, and if he just visually looks better, I think you definitely can feel more confident in Louisville.
Yeah. Now for the number 8 team, this is where ASU is at right now. They're a little bit up and down, but they've had some interesting games to say the least. And I actually have down a lot of them just because a lot of crazy things have happened. Early on in the season, they lost 0-3 versus Pitt, and that's when I was kind of like, is ASU all that? Because they also lost to Texas 0-3, but they beat Kansas. That's when I'm going, okay, maybe they're a little bit legit, because I view Kansas as a pretty good team, especially at that point.
Yeah.
Then they've 3-0'd Baylor. They beat Colorado 3-1. They beat BYU 3-2, and then just after I started feeling comfortable with calling ASU really good, then they lose in 5 sets to Iowa State. Because why not?
Yeah, it's funny. Of course, it had to happen during the Halloweekend when we were doing these notes, where it's like, oh man, you just screwed it up. We were doing all this, and
I think the last episode, I was finally getting on that ASU hype train, where I was like, you know what? Like, we gotta respect them. They're looking good now.
I think I was a little more hesitant to it, but I agree though. I mean, Arizona State is still a very, very respectable team. They've been really good. That Iowa State game, I think, stands out. For me, I actually put that TCU game where they were able to actually get that win. I thought that was really important for them. Just another like conference rival. They're pretty good. They're in that like top 15-ish range, given recent stuff. So I definitely put them there. And again, I wanted to put that game in because that was also their whole team. I think, the whole thing with Noemi Glover earlier on when she was
out for 2 or 3 weeks.
When she was out for there, I kind of gave them kind of a bye where I was like, I don't want to consider those games because I just want to consider the ones where they're at their strongest.
Yeah, even when she came back, it's like,
it took a little bit of time.
Is she fully recovered yet? Is everything going to gel right away?
It took a little bit of time, but I think that TCU game was really good because it was able to showcase, hey, Noemi Glover is back. She is playing really well. But also we have Bailey Miller. Bailey Miller has been really good. She was kind of able to hold it down when Noemi Glover went down. And Kobe Neal in the middle has also been really good. So,
very good.
Yeah, ASU has been looking pretty solid. For me, just upcoming game-wise, I put the Colorado game. I think that one's going to be really important just because Colorado has been really, really good.
I mean, Colorado is still fighting for that number 1 spot in the conference.
Yeah, I think that's a huge part.
Yeah, the Big 12 is a giant mess right now.
Yeah. It could sway very easily to one of these teams that are at the top here.
We're at the end of the conference play pretty much, and every game still matters.
Yeah. You really have to see every single game to really know what the standings are going to end up looking like.
Yeah.
So I think the Colorado game is going to be most important. Again, because I think they're like kind of been sneaky. They've been able to kind of go under the radar nationally and just play their games and win and do really solid. And they haven't been doing anything like super fancy. It's just been really, really low key, I guess. But I think that will be a big game for ASU. If they win that, that's a prove-it game. And then they can go ahead and, seal the deal and win Big 12.
Yeah. I also just have written down BYU just because
it's a really good game, too.
Yeah, it's another top team, even though BYU also took a loss.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on in this Big 12. But, yeah, BYU, I also had them hyped up just because I thought from last year I was really high on them. And they haven't been as great as I thought.
That's your team.
It was going to... I was like, they're going to rock the Big 12 this year. Watch this. Not happening. But...
They've still been pretty good, though.
Yeah, but, the last time ASU BYU played just like 2 weeks ago, that was a 5-setter.
Yeah.
So, probably another good game there and another game where they still have to prove we're still like that. Now for the number 9 team, this is where we have Purdue. Purdue has had a lot of really, really close games.
Yeah.
Really, really close matches. For games that I just have down, they won 3-2 versus Kansas, 3-1 versus SMU, where I really started to pay attention to them. So that one's a little key for me, just myself. 3-2 versus UCLA, 3-2 versus Minnesota, 3-2 versus Michigan.
Yeah.
And while they are getting these wins, there are a lot of 5-setters in there. So it's tough. And I think it was either the Michigan or Minnesota game where they ended up reverse sweep. It might be the Michigan game where they reverse swept. And I was like, okay, you know what? Purdue does have that dog in them.
Yeah.
They can come back from these adverse situations.
Yeah.
They still have it in them to be a top Big Ten team, even though, I didn't expect too much of them coming into the season. I mean, I don't think anyone really...
I don't think there was any indicator that they were going to be this good.
Yeah.
in the Big Ten.
Yeah. Definitely not to the level where I consider them the number 2 team right now.
I think it's only fair if you were a Purdue fan.
Yeah.
I think otherwise you're lying if you're saying that, oh yeah, Purdue's going to be up there, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be competing for that number 2 spot. Otherwise, I think it's a lie.
No, Purdue looks really good. They still do have to prove themselves to end the season. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about it in those upcoming games. But I think they have also already proven themselves with some of these, especially like the game against SMU, against Kansas. Those are top teams outside of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Where, sometimes I give I guess a lot of the time I've been giving the Big Ten a lot of crap this season for not being as great of a conference.
Yeah.
So a lot of what I'd consider like easier games for Purdue. But they've shown up for those early season games, and they're still taking care of business out here.
Yeah. I think for me, I highlighted just the SMU game. I think to me that was a really good indicator for Purdue. Mm-hmm. Just as a whole team. I think Dave Shondell has done an amazing job. The job that he's done has been insane. It's been so great.
Yeah.
But again, SMU is a really good team. That them winning that game was, to me, was the eye-opener of, hey, Purdue's for real. They're definitely a really good quality team. And again, I think Kenna Woolard being a star, filling in that huge role that was needed for Purdue has been, I think that's a given that, she's been a huge difference maker for this team. And then I think the rest of the team has been really solid too. I think them being able to support Taylor Anderson, who's running the offense, and Kenna Woolard, that's been just insane as a go-to hitter. That helps diversify this team, and it really shows their mantra of a team of being, hey, we're going to beat you, not by just one player beating you, but we're going to do it together. Yeah, Kenna Woolard is a great player, but we're going to do it together. We're going to all chip in, and we're going to make it hard for you to beat us just through our whole team. For the upcoming game, for me, I put the Wisconsin game.
That's
a huge one. Mm-hmm. Again, no Addie Horner, or no Charlie Furbringer, sorry.
Yeah.
Addie Horner's running the offense over there. But again, we've seen that Wisconsin is still a really good team, even without Charlie Furbringer, which is great. But for Purdue, I think this is, again, a game that could prove, hey, if they do win this game, you really know that we are for real in the Big Ten. And then across the nation, you do have to worry about Purdue.
I mean, if they are able to beat Wisconsin, I'm pretty sure that shores up the number 2 seed in the Big Ten.
If it doesn't, it's very close.
Yeah, I mean, the game that I also had written down there was at the end of the season, they're playing Indiana, who's also, one of those surprising teams who is fighting for that top level of the Big Ten spot. I mean, they're a ranked team now. And then, just to put it down, I have down Penn State because you never know which Penn State team you're going to get.
I guess.
Sometimes they're getting great performances, when we thought they were going to bounce back versus Wisconsin, where they 3-0'd them and we're like, oh, maybe they're back.
Yeah.
And then, they're not back.
Yeah.
But,
no.
if they end up showing out, they could be a tough match for Purdue, a good test for them at least.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 games aside from the Wisconsin game that I have down. Indiana, Penn State.
For sure.
Also important for their standings in the Big Ten. For our number 10 team here, we have SMU. We've already given them a little bit of talk before, and for the game that I think was key for them, they beat Louisville 3-2. I think that's the important game.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one where I think prior to that in the ACC, we kind of had them right outside of that tier.
Yeah.
And then when that game happened versus Louisville, we started thinking, wait a second. They actually look really, really good, and they look on the level of these other top ACC teams. Yeah,
I mean, this is a trademark win for them. It was a huge grind for SMU to win that game against Louisville. But again, beating a really storied program as a recent in Louisville was really good. But again, thinking back to that game, that was the game that Jane Livings went down. It was the second set. We were watching that game. I was like, wait, they're winning this game and she's not playing anymore? Because we're looking for her. She's not playing. Kenny Rogers is still out there doing really well on the outside as a freshman. But again, it was so crazy to see that. Because Jane Livings has been amazing for SMU. She's been, they have a pretty good offense, but you kind of know when they set her the ball or that they're going to set her the ball a lot, and she's going to do really well with that. But this is so cool. This is the Malaya Jones flu game. That's what I wrote down. That's how I feel about it, which is so crazy. Because I didn't know that she was sick. I think the broadcasters eventually said it. But you kind of see it on her face that she was pale. She was not talking to people. She was just locked in. she was like, she would get a kill and she's just not celebrating that much, just on to the next play.
Conserving energy,
yeah,
honestly.
just like, hey, let's get this over with. Let's win this game.
Yeah.
I thought that was really awesome. And I think that gives them character. I think if they're able to do that, she dropped 22 kills. That's insane.
Yeah.
But it's a very balanced team, even just considering that. So if they're able to have a player that's able to do that, Jaden Living's healthy, this team is very difficult to beat.
Yeah. This is another team that has just happened to drop games every now and then.
Yeah.
Which is why they are a little bit lower in the rankings relatively.
They've been hovering around like that 10 spot for a while too.
Yeah.
Around there.
At some point, I think they even peaked probably around closer to 7.
Yeah, I think it was like 7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, depending on the team that you get that day, they can go up against these top teams.
Yeah.
They can play really, really good matches. They can upset them sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they're really in that tight race for the ACC still.
Yeah. And then for upcoming games, I just have November 16th versus Stanford.
Yeah, that's the big one.
That's, again, one of their last... They're a little bit... They've played a lot of their tough matches already.
Yeah.
They're a little bit at the whim of everyone else's records to finish out the season, to just find out their own standing.
Yeah.
But a win against Stanford here, again, we're not sure of how exactly to rate the Stanford team because they haven't played too many top teams yet.
Yeah.
But this one would be key for them to win and then kind of stay in that top of the conference race.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. I think they do that and they beat Stanford. It knocks Stanford down, and then again it holds up SMU against the other top teams in the conference where it becomes really close. So I think that will be a huge determining factor on how SMU is going to do in the national tournament. I think they go on and win the ACC. I mean, you feel really good about that. Does that happen? I don't know, because there's still really good teams up there. But if SMU has that, that's a lot of confidence going into the national tournament. And again, I think it is a really good team. If they get hot, they're playing well, they're really hard to beat.
It's also crazy to me because for SMU, I was always wondering about how they would mesh as a team, but it happened pretty early on.
Yeah, they've been able to prove it too, which is really nice. Across multiple games, across the season, you've seen that they've grown and that certain players have taken steps into like really good progression. So definitely really good.
Now let's move on to number 11, which is where we have Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, for them, they've had some very, very interesting games. The two that I've picked as my key ones was their 1-3 loss versus USC, and then their 3-1 victory over Washington, which honestly, in these games, it just ends up being how scrappy are their teams, how much is everyone that besides, I guess, Mimi Collier performing. Because that is a problem that they're going through, is that right now a lot of the offense has to run through Mimi Collier, especially with Grace Egan has come back, but just getting reacclimated into the offense and back into the flow of everything. They have done some weird stuff, even I think during this Washington game where one set she came in for right side and then she became the left side. So it's still acclimating to what she's comfortable with.
Yeah, and I think that shows the growth for Kelly Sheffield as well. I think he's using the subs a lot more, I feel like, than he usually would. Where, I mean, he's trying to figure out this pin situation. It is really weird. Yeah. Like Unifehe Vajic. I'm trying to figure out how to say her name. But when she doesn't have a great game, who are they slotting in? Maddie Quest, is she on the left side? Yeah. I think that might be how they going forward. She's been looking really good on the left. And Grace Egan still on the right has been really good. So I think figuring that out will be really important for them. For me, I put the Nebraska game, I know it was a sweep. Yeah. But I wanted to mention it just because of how tough they actually made that game. Like, again, it's Nebraska, so tough is like very subjective on how you want to consider that. But knowing how good Nebraska is, Wisconsin honestly didn't look that bad, given that Mimi Collier didn't have one of her regular monster games.
I mean, they were shutting her down.
Yeah, I mean, they were keyed in on her for sure.
Yeah, that's the game plan.
But I think they're still a very enticing team to me just because of, Mimi Collier, how well she's been playing this season. And then, it's not really a bad thing that they lost that game. It just helps me understand the strength of what Wisconsin is good at. And then, it kind of puts in perspective how good Nebraska is at defense. Like being able to shut down Mimi Collier. And,
making it look easy.
And that whole offense was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But again, I think Grace Egan being back in has been really helpful for them. I think she looks really good. Addie Horner has been really, really important I think it's
filling
pretty surprising.
Filling the Charlie Furbringer shoes was a tough ask.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising to me how good she's been looking on them as a setter already.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that going into it, she was going to be a hitter. Like, knowing that she did 6'2".
Yeah, she split it. Yeah.
When you have Charlie Furbringer, you're like, oh, she's going to hit. She's not going to... Because she's only a year younger than Charlie Furbringer. You're not going to commit to Wisconsin to set.
Yeah.
But, hey, man, she's looking really good in that role. Maybe she will hit eventually when Furbringer is healthy. But she's been stepping in and doing really well. So I think that really shows, like, how good this team has become, even without that. I think that's really, really cool to see that. The team is really deep.
And then speaking of Charlie Furbringer, I think for upcoming games, it's every single game for if she's ever healthy for any of them, because...
Who knows at this point, man?
Yeah. I've been saying that I don't think that she's coming back for the rest of the season.
It really doesn't look like it.
Yeah. We are fast approaching the end of the season.
Yeah.
So if we're not getting any news of her kind of at least preparing to play again, it's not looking great, but... that's one thing to look out for, I guess, in terms of every single game, I guess. But then specifically, they're playing against Minnesota tonight as we are filming this, and then again on the 28th. So those are two important games just for conference rankings for them, as well as Indiana November 9th and Purdue on the 19th.
Yeah, I put the Purdue game. I think, you're not going to win the conference because it's Nebraska, but...
Yeah.
I think if they do win that game, they prime themselves to take second in that conference, where most people were like, oh, Wisconsin, the amount of stuff that they lost, they're not going to be able to do it. But, hey, Mimi Collier came in, she's looking really good. A lot of other pieces are doing really, really well. And then you lose Charlie Furbringer, it's like, oh, they're going to drop again. But Addie Horn has done really well. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they finish out the conference play. I think that's a lot of confidence. If they're able to get second in the conference, I think you feel pretty good about that.
Yeah.
And then going into the national tournament, again, I think that's really important for them. Again, also, like, Charlie Furbringer, does she ever come back? I don't know.
But making a late appearance.
Yeah, I think you feel a lot better about it knowing that you do have a shot at it now with how good the team is looking. It's not just, oh, we're not looking good, mail it in, Charlie, don't even come back.
Yeah.
I think now it's, hey, we're still looking really good.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're about to come back to health where you can play, maybe we should really think about it. Hey, maybe you should be playing. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah, it's a tough one for Wisconsin, but they do have a tough schedule ahead of them, and that's kind of where it will determine how they should feel for the national tournament.
For sure.
Now we'll move on to the next team, which is number 12, Creighton. This is a very interesting one, as we have talked about them in the past.
This is maybe the most interesting one, honestly.
Yeah, where basically all of their important big games have been earlier in the season. So I picked the 2-3 loss to Nebraska as my main one. And then another good one just is a 5-set win over Kansas.
Yeah.
But
I also picked the Nebraska game.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the highlight of their season so far. Just one being the inter-Nebraska battle. But then also the fact that Nebraska has looked so dominant this season, and Creighton was able to push them like that.
Yeah.
Especially because Creighton had a very rough opening to the season where they had lost nearly every single game. So, yeah, I think them performing really, really well against Nebraska just shows that this team does have it within them.
For sure. Yeah, I think that was like the crazy game where it's, hey, you know what level of play that they can get up to, competing against the top team in the nation now at this point, right? I think that's unheralded, that's for sure. And that Creighton was right there. I think that shows something about how good Creighton has been. Especially with, like, the amount of uncertainty of how good this team actually is, knowing what conference they're playing in.
Yeah.
Where it's just a cakewalk. Even having lost so many players, it's just still been a cakewalk for them. They've still been able to do really, really well. So,
I mean, technically, it's not as easy for them as it has been for Nebraska, because they have dropped some sets.
That's true. That's true.
Nebraska's just on another level.
Yeah. But to me, I think just looking more into their team, Ava Martin has been phenomenal. Just, you kind of know what was going to happen, understanding what the team makeup was going to look like. But she's done a really good job in that role where she is the go-to hitter. Everyone knows that they want to side of the ball, and she's done really well with it. Kiara Reinhart has been like a solid option that they've had for, I think it's 4 years now.
Yeah.
Where she's going to be able to do her thing in the middle, blocking and offensively. But again, there is still uncertainty of how good this team is, considering who they play against. We don't really know what's going to look like when they play against the top teams later in the national tournament.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the huge question of, does it matter about the preparation of like the teams that you play against, what level they are at? Like, can that make a big difference if they were in a different conference maybe?
Yeah. One thing I'll say just on that sort of topic is that I think maybe it's not good that they have such an easy conference, but I think after the way that they opened the season, getting to hop into Big East play and then rack up all of these wins that they're getting, it's probably good for them just mentality-wise and just bringing the team back together, because opening a season, it was looking rough. The team was looking gassed after a bunch of those games. I think they played like 3 games within a week's time at some point. So I was like, oh, it's looking brutal on them. And I think especially Ava Martin, it looked like she was having a rough time adjusting to being that number 1 hitter for the team. But I think having the Big East to kind of work things out, a little bit lower pressure.
Yeah.
It's probably good for them. Now, how far they were able to improve just because of the competition that they're playing against, that's its own problem.
Yeah.
But I think just as a bounce back from that start of the season, I think this is probably a net good, but how good it is might not be enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll know that when the national tournament does happen, when we see, like, when they end up playing good teams, how does it look?
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be really important. So we'll see. I mean, upcoming game-wise, I said Villanova just because they are one of the top teams in the conference.
Yeah.
But again, like, we know that Creighton is higher level than most of the other teams in this conference anyways. Just kind of hard to say. I think, if they don't win the Big East tournament, then there's some issues there.
Yeah. In that sense, it could be every game, because if they lose a game, that's sending some bad signals.
Yeah, but, I mean, we're under the assumption that they're going to play their best, that they're going to win the Big East tournament. Then it's, okay, now let's see what it looks like in the national tournament for sure.
Yeah, I kind of just wrote down just the rest of the Big East tournament, and then just starting to see the national tournament games where we start seeing them matched up versus other teams where we have a better frame of reference.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, but I think that'll wrap it up for our talk of the most important games for each of the top teams so far. So in the comments, kind of just let us know what your favorite team is and what their most important games this season have been, and what you're looking forward to for the rest of the season for your team. Maybe any expectations. I mean, obviously, Nebraska fans, Texas fans, you're going to have that national tournament in mind, but maybe Texas fans, for the rest of the season, you got to lock in on a couple of these games, these bounce-back games.
Yeah, I think definitely figuring out for your team that you're a fan of, what is that season-defining game, and then, what does that mean to them? I think that's going to be really interesting, because it's very different for a lot of these different teams. The answers could vary a lot.
Yeah, especially on the level. I mean, if we were to talk about my alum team, UCSD, I know it ends up being very different from the type of answers that we gave for these top teams.
Oh, for me too. I mean, for Rutgers, it's been rough still.
Yeah.
But hey, we got 2 wins. We're not last.
Those are the 2 most important games right there.
So surprising, honestly, that Ohio State is 0-12. I think that's the thing that's blown me away. I don't know what the heck happened there.
No, they just lost their players, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Man, I think that's pretty crazy.
Yep. But again, just let us know in the comments, and we'll move on to the rally round. Welcome to the rally round, where we play our draft, blind rankings, and other fun games. This week, we got another draft. We're going to finish off our classes draft with the freshmen this time. So another big one. This is going to be pretty fun. A lot of potential freshman of the year candidates.
Yeah, there's a lot. And man, we've been singing their praise. The freshmen have been so good.
Yeah,
They've
this
been
class,
so
this class is really good, actually. Already, and it's their freshman year.
Yeah.
Let's draft NCAA volleyball teams using only freshmen.
I got the number 1 pick. It's super easy for me. Everyone knows that I am a big fan of her. Number 1 fan, Kari Spears. Let's go.
Yeah, that'll do it. From Texas, obviously. And now we got my 2 picks, where it's looking... There's a lot to do here. There are a lot of good players. Ooh, what do I want to prioritize for my teams here? First things first, I think, aside from Kari Spears, this is another player who could be in the race for National Freshman of the Year. I'm going to take a middle here. I'm going to take Erica Sayer from Stanford.
I like that. Erica Sayer's been so
She's
solid.
So good. Her slide, insane. She's already looking like one of the top slides in NCAA right now.
Yeah, it's really impressive what she's been able to do. I think she's a huge reason why Stanford is still really good.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm just going to have to go this way due to the pool of players, but on the outside, I'm going to take Tariah Sigler from Nebraska.
Ooh, I was hoping to get her. I was hoping to get her.
We've seen flashes of her. She sometimes gets to play that front row role, but I think in terms of this pool of outsides we have for freshmen, she's probably the best back row player in terms of outsides.
She's been killing it. I mean, she literally only plays back row for the most part, for most of the games.
Yeah.
So you know that she's killer in the back row. And she still hits pretty good bic as well. We've seen her hit some front row, and she's looking pretty solid. So yeah. I can't hate on that. Okay, this is tough for me then. Okay, well, let me get the first one out of the way. I'm taking Abby Vanderwall. Okay, man, I got to.
Hey, keeping that Texas freshman together.
Give me the chemistry. Give me the chemistry. Yeah. I like that when they're both on. They're both on the team. I feel good about that. I like that.
That's fair.
So I got really good hitters. I think I really want some good passing as well. I'm gonna take Spencer Etzler.
Ooh, yeah.
Another huge reason why Stanford has been so good.
Yeah.
Spencer Etzler has been so good.
She's been great.
Filling in that role in the libero spot. So I definitely like what I'm seeing from her.
First, I'm gonna not let you complete the trifecta of Texas freshmen. For my last middle, I'm gonna take Taylor Harvey from Texas.
All right, fair enough.
She's also looked great when she's been playing.
Yeah.
It's been a mix in that middle for Texas, but she looks really good.
Yeah.
And then I think I'll just take my final outside here as well. I'm gonna take Sully Davis from BYU.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's already looking like a top level offensive option at the high level for NCAA. Mm-hmm. So I have to take her onto my team. I mean, she arguably is attacking better than Claire Little Chambers, one of their top players.
Yeah. She's been pretty insane.
Yeah.
All right, then for me, I got to take my setter here. This is really tough. I'm trying to figure out who I want.
It's tough between them.
Yeah, they're both so good right now. Let me take away the chemistry from you, and I really like how she's been playing. Give me Logan Parks, so you don't have the Erica Sayer.
Yeah.
Logan Parks connection, and I love that she's giving me able to dish it out to the hitters that I got. And then here, no more overlap. I'll take her. I really like it. Again, we haven't really seen her play a lot because she's playing against the best middles in the country. But Manayo Beche, she's been really good in the little bit amount of playing time that she's been getting. Yeah. But I think you mentioned it. Like all the conversation around her is that she is very good. Yeah. And when we've seen her, she has been really good. I'll give her that. I want her on my team.
Yeah, I think DBK, whenever asked about her, has been singing her praises. So you just can't be wrong with this, even though we haven't seen her play too much. We have seen her on Team USA U19 though. So
yeah, that's part of what I'm going off of here.
Yeah. My two next picks, let's go a little foreign here. So for my setter, I'm going to take Teodora Krikovic from Indiana. That's my setter. And then for my right side, we're taking Virginia Adriano from Nebraska.
Damn. So it's interesting here. What's going to unfortunately happen is that Cassie O'Brien doesn't get drafted. I think that's the huge one where it's like, oh, that's tough. She's been really good too. But Teodora Krikovic has been so good. I think it's undeniable that she's been a very good setter. I think you've seen her growth throughout the season, so I can't hate that pick. Yeah. She's definitely killing it, but it is pretty crazy that there's so many good setters right now that
I know they're already playing.
There's a bunch that aren't getting drafted here. Mm-hmm. Cassie O'Brien, Stella Swenson is a huge one that's like, oh, she's not getting drafted. Mm-hmm. Addie Horner, now that we've seen her playing, is a really good setter as well. So a lot of really good setters. All right, and then this finishes out my draft here, right?
Yep.
So let me get Lindsay Mangelson for my outside. And then I will also take Jordan Taylor from Minnesota.
Two very good picks as well. Two very good picks. That'll just leave me with my libero now. So for my libero, I'm going to take Kristen Simon from Wisconsin. And again, big shoes to fill in that Wisconsin libero spot, but she's doing great. So I think she'd be perfect for this team. Set up a good back row. I think we got some pretty solid defense here between the blocking and then our reception even.
Yeah.
I think we can run a good team here. But that does it for this draft. You guys let us know who you think wins this one. Or,
it's tough.
Yeah, or if there are any other big freshmen we missed. We know there are a lot of really good freshmen.
There's so many good freshmen.
This class is stacked. So if we made a big miss here, you guys let us know because, there's so many to pick from. Yeah. We might have just been overthinking it too much.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth in the freshman draft actually.
Yeah. But now we're going to move on to our next segment where we're going to compare outside hitters using only stats again. So last time we did setters. Now we're going to do outside hitters.
All right.
These is always pretty fun.
Yeah, this is a little bit easier to guess based off of stats or compare them because sometimes it's like it's really hard to say for setters because of the numbers. You can't always see how they're hitting. I think it's a lot more visual and like how it feels.
Yeah.
But outside, the numbers definitely help.
Yeah, the numbers will tell a lot. We don't have great reception numbers here.
Right. Yeah.
I did just write down that their serve reception errors.
That's fair. Yeah.
That's the easiest number we have. That's readily available. Tell me who's the better NCAA outside hitter by only using their stats. So first off, we're gonna do these two players that have pretty close stats and should be pretty fun. So player A here has 5.15 points per set, 4.77 kills per set on 29.3% efficiency. They have 12 aces and 43 service errors, 2.19 digs per set, 17 serve receive errors, 0.34 blocks per set.
Okay.
Then player B, they have 4.89 points per set, 4.51 kills per set on 30.7% efficiency, 9 service aces, 18 serve errors, 2.54 digs per set, 7 serve receive errors, and 0.39 blocks per set.
This is hard to say. Yeah. I mean, it is all very close. The kills per set and then the efficiency is very similar. I guess the serving is different. I think that's the only thing that you can say. Like the service errors are a lot higher. But everything else is pretty similar. I think the serve receive errors is kind of hard to gauge just because, we don't know how many times they're actually getting served at. Mm-hmm. And we don't know what those look like. It could be communication stuff or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. Or they're really getting targeted and that's how it is. But it's tough. But off vibes, I'm going to go player B.
Okay.
Just the slight tick in efficiency, and I have a feeling that there might be better like defensive and passing. So I'll go with that.
Well, let's see what you think after you hear these names because you pick player B, and that means you're picking Eva Hudson over Brooklyn DeLay.
Oh, that's funny. You put them against each other.
Yeah. Okay. We had to settle the debate. Who's the better outside hitter on this team?
I think it kind of makes sense. Now that I see it, the numbers and then the players next to it, it does make sense a little bit more. I'm not going to lie. I did have a guess for player A. With the service errors, I kind of made a guess for it. But, I mean, it's really close, though.
Yeah. That just shows how dangerous this duo is.
Yeah, it's pretty insane that they're on the same team.
I mean, realistically, if you're just looking at outside hitter production, you're supposed to combine these numbers. So the points per set from them combined, 10 points per set.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And 30% of hitting is really
it's basically just 30% hitting between
really
two
good.
of them. And
actually, straight up is.
Yeah.
When you look at it, averaging it is straight up is.
In a weird way, that's how.
Yeah, that's kind of funny that it is.
But pretty solid defense and I guess solid blocking. I mean, not the best at their position, but pretty solid. Now let's move on to round 2. So player A here, they have 5.81 points per set, 5.2 kills per set on 31.8% efficiency. They have 14 aces, 27 service errors, 2.22 digs per set, 9 serve receive errors, and 0.72 blocks per set. And for player B, they have 4.4 points per set, 3.66 kills per set on 31% efficiency, 22 serve aces, 24 service errors, 2.64 digs per set, 15 serve receive errors, and 0.69 blocks per set.
Okay.
So one's definitely a much better scorer.
Yeah, definitely a better scorer, but it's hard to say.
The efficiency is similar, though.
Efficiency is still similar. I think the defense is the hard thing to figure out here, and the passing.
For sure.
I mean, the serve receive errors is similar. I mean, player A has a little bit better. And the digs per set is always like, to me, that doesn't determine the defense, so it's kind of hard to predict that. But I'll go with player A here. I think the scoring is really, really good. And then I think they're still playing good defense here. And then serve receive errors, I think it is decently low. So I'll go with player A.
Yeah, this one's going to be pretty surprising because this means you're picking Mimi Collier from Wisconsin over Harper Murray from Nebraska.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling. But like with Mimi Collier with the offense, I think you know what you're getting from her.
Yeah.
But you also know how great of a player Harper Murray is.
Yeah.
So that's tough.
Yeah, I think it's just like a superstar level offensive production. Yeah. Who's like the number one option on her team.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Harper Murray's part of that super balanced offense.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
I think honestly that's even more a testament of how good Mimi Collier's been playing.
Yeah.
That she's the number one option. She's hitting that efficiently. Like she's hitting the most efficient out of the hitters that you mentioned already.
Yep. This is my Mimi Collier propaganda still running strong. Now let's move on to round 3. Player A has 5.66 points per set, 4.86 kills per set, 26.2% efficiency with 39 aces and 40 service errors, 1.76 digs per set, 20 serve receive errors, and 0.55 blocks per set. Player B has 6.65 points per set with 5.79 kills per set on 29.7% efficiency, 45 service aces, 84 serve errors, 1.62 digs per set, 28 serve receive errors, and 0.54 blocks per set.
This is tough.
Very tough, very tough.
I think I'm kind of in the mood of just give me the offense because it's pretty insane the numbers that she's putting up.
Yeah.
You do have to consider like the serving errors. I think that's very important. The serve receive errors is also very important for the passing.
Yeah, but not too far off, I guess.
I'm going based on the vibes though. Give me player B.
All right.
The numbers that they're putting up is insane.
Yep, and that's for a good reason because player B means you picked Flor Marie Heredia Colon from Miami over Anna Barilovich from Colorado.
Yeah.
So two of the top outside hitters
For sure.
in NCAA right now on teams where they need to be the number one scorer. But gosh, Flor Marie Heredia Colon is putting up real good numbers.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. You guys let us know what you guys would have picked for these and what you guys think of these results. Would you have made the same decisions or what do you think now that you know the players?
Yeah.
Let's move on to our next one where we're playing a little bit of a different game. This time we're going to be trying to name players by only knowing their accolades.
Yeah,
So,
and this is helping us rev up for
Yeah.
the pro seasons in the U.S. because it wouldn't be as fun if we did that for the college players because the
It's a little
accolades
bit
are a
less.
little bit smaller, or we're gonna have to get like really specific.
into some high school stuff.
Yeah, or it's like player of the weeks or whatever. Like it's very difficult. But for these, the accomplishments are very huge. So I think this will be more fun. And again, rev up for the pro seasons because we're still really excited for those coming up.
Yep. So we're going to do both League One and MLV. Cover both bases and get hyped for both seasons because it's going to be fun.
All right, so I'm going to be the one covering the League One stuff here. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be, well, I don't know. I actually don't know if it's going to be easier or if it's going to be hard. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out as we go because this is also our first time doing it.
Can you guess the League One player from their resume? First up, she is a Women's USA National Team member. She's a two-time All-American, one-time NCAA National Champion, one-time All-Big Ten team.
Okay, Big Ten.
Big Ten.
Okay.
One-time All-Big Ten honorable mention. Maybe this will give it away for you. We'll see. Two-time Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. I'll stop there. I'll give you a bit of time.
Defensive Player of the Year, is it Justine Wong?
That is Justine Wong-Orantes.
Okay.
Yeah. So to finish out the rest of her stuff, four-time Pan Am Cup team member, 3 golds, 1 bronze, two-time VNL gold winner. She's a two-time Olympian, obviously, 1 gold, 1 silver. And then she was also voted the best libero at the Tokyo Olympics and the VNL in that same year.
That would have helped. That would have been too much of a giveaway, I guess.
Yeah. I had to put that at the very end.
Okay, for sure.
Okay. Next up, another Women's USA National Team member. Kind of most of the League One players.
Okay.
3-time All-American, 1-time NCAA National Champion, Big Ten Freshman of the Year, 4-time All-Big Ten team.
Micah Hancock? Oh, dang. I thought I was cooking with that one.
The career for college was very good from beginning and end.
Did you say champ? Wait, did you say champion?
One time.
One-time champion.
One time.
I was going to say Jordan Larson, but she won more than one.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. Damn. Haley Washington?
It is Haley Washington.
Okay. You put the interviewees back to
I
back.
did.
All right,
yeah. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they were awesome. We loved having them on.
Funny.
They were so good to have on. But,
yeah,
I think it just shows how great of careers that they both had.
Okay.
I mean, they're still going.
Yeah, I should have stuck to it when I guessed the...
It makes sense, though, right? Like, big four-time All-Big Ten team, so she did it at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Freshman year, she was a national champion. And she still did it. She went to the Final Four in her senior year.
I should have
kept
kept going with that after I guessed Micah Hancock. I was right there.
You're on the right team.
Right there.
You're on the right team.
Yeah.
But also, one-time Pan Am Cup gold winner, two-time VNL gold winner, and then two-time Olympian, 1 gold, 1 silver. We even saw those medals, so we know what it looked like. And then also voted best middle blocker at Tokyo Olympics. That would have given it away. All right, the last one here, again, is a Women's USA National Team member, 2-time All-American, 1-time All-American honorable mention, and we'll see if this helps. SEC All-Freshman Team, 2-time All-SEC First Team, SEC Player of the Year, Big Ten Player of the Year.
Kelsey Cook?
It is Kelsey Robinson Cook.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was the giveaway, the SEC and Big Ten.
After
from Tennessee to Nebraska.
The first one, I was like, okay, SEC. And then you went Big Ten, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who else has that career path. But
Yeah.
I thought that was a good one. Also, again, shout out Justine Wong-Ranta's Kelsey Robinson Cook on having babies. That's awesome.
Oh, true, yeah.
That was the theme that I went for. And then Haley Washington, because we interviewed them.
Yeah. All connected in that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, again, for Kelsey Robinson Cook, 3-time VNL gold winner, 1-time World Championship gold winner, 3-time Olympian, got the bronze, the silver, the gold, got all 3 of them. That's really cool. So we'll see. I hope that was fun. They were, 3 of, the top players in the U.S., but still really cool.
All right. Well, you guys let us know if you guys were able to get it from those hints. I know I struggled a little bit. I had to really, really dig deep and remember who's on the rosters.
Yeah, the college part is hard.
It's also been a while since we really thought about League One like that.
Yeah.
So I had to rev up those engines again. But now Mike is in for the same level of challenge when we're moving on to the MLB here. Can you name the MLB player based on their accolades? They're a 2-time state Gatorade Player of the Year winner. They have 1 championship in the PVF. They're a 1-time NCAA champion, a 4-time All-American, and 1-time All-American honorable mention, which that could be a big hint. 4-time All-Region First Team, 3-time Big Ten Setter of the Year.
Oh, okay. It's Sydney Hilly?
It's Sydney Hilly.
Okay.
Now we got a long list of accolades to read out for Sydney Hilly. So
absolute dog, by the way.
Yeah. So I'll just start from the top of my list. She won gold at the 2023 NORCECA Pan Am American Cup Final 6. She won bronze at the 2023 Pan Am Cup, silver at the 2016 NORCECA U21 Championship, silver at the 2015 U19 World Championships, the 2015-2016 Minnesota Gatorade Player of the Year,
Jesus,
2024 PVF Championship, plus the playoff MVP with the Omaha Supernovas, 2025 PVF Setter of the Year, plus the All-League First Team. She was the 2021 champion in NCAA, 4-time All-American 2018, 2019, and then both of the 2021 seasons. 2017 All-American Honorable Mention, 4-time All-Region First Team, 2017 All-Region Honorable Mention. She won Big Ten Setter of the Year in 2019 through 2021. She was a Big Ten champion 2019 through 2021.
Dominating.
She has 4 Big Ten First Team choices. She was the 2017 Big Ten Freshman of the Year, also on that rookie team. She won the National Player of the Week 1 time. She won Big Ten Setter of the Week 17 times.
Jesus.
She won Big Ten Player of the Week 2 times, and she was the Big Ten Freshman of the Week 1 time, competing with her own teammate, by the way.
Yeah.
So Dana Redke made it tough for her to win all these. All right, but let's do the next one also just because it's a little easier. So for the next player, they were 2017 All-American on the 3rd team. They're 2-time ABCA All-Pacific South Region team, 2-time All-Pac-12 team, 2-time Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Week. They were the 2024 Athletes Unlimited champion. They were 2025 PVF All-Star. They won the 2025 PVF League Championship. They're the 2025 PVF MVP.
Brittany Abercrombie?
It is Brittany Abercrombie, and she was also the 2025 Opposite of the Year.
For sure.
Yeah.
She should have had that, no doubt.
After being the MVP. Yeah. Shocker. So
I had to think back about the college career. That's the part that threw me off.
Yeah, it's the college career, she was on a stacked team already, so she didn't get to stand out too much. Yeah. So that's where it got a little confusing.
Yeah, the Athletes Unlimited helped because I remember that photo of her celebrating that. Yeah. Like I remember that part, so that helped. And then you saying the PVS stuff definitely it makes it easier.
Yeah. And then those were all of her accolades. So that does it for this segment. Let us know if you like the player accolades idea or if we should try and bring this on to maybe other groups,
Yeah, I mean, we could try it for college. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, if you want it for college, we could try and pull out some overseas players.
Yeah.
If you want, just us to expand it to maybe the world, overseas American players, men's players, I guess.
It's going to be definitely hard. We'd have to get in our bag for, if we're just going, in the world. It's going to be really hard, but
maybe by country. Maybe give us a country. We can lock in on that too.
Or Europe, South America, Asia, something like that.
Something
that could be cool.
A niche category, but if you liked it, let us know, and we'll try and do a little bit more of that. But now we just got blind rankings left.
All right, so we've been keeping it going with the blind rankings here. And again, we're doing it by positions. I think that was fun last time with the outsides. So this time, we're going to blind rank NCAA setters.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of switched it. Last time we did stats on setters. This time we're going to do blind ranking some setters.
Now, I need to know before I start the ranking.
She's not in it.
Okay.
Talking about Izzy Stark. She's not in it.
Yes. I just needed to clarify.
I'm going based on the people that like we've seen a lot of. So I'm going to do those because I think it's kind of unfair to rank Izzy Stark somewhere for this given season.
Yeah, based off of 5 games.
Yeah. And
10.
I feel like she probably had a lot of stuff on her mind anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't know if she was playing at her regular
fair
level. Okay, blind rank these NCAA women's setters. First up, we got Nayels Cabello.
Ooh.
I know you're a big fan of her,
I am
so.
a fan. Oh, man. Oh, that's tough. There are a lot of really good setters in NCAA right now. Let me look at the standings real quick, just so I don't make any rash decisions.
That's fair. Hey, you gotta for the setters. I feel like you kind of have to go based off of the standings.
Yeah, let me do my due diligence. Think about all the setters we got out here and how I want to place them. Looking at the top teams, honestly, not as great as it could have been. Ooh, I don't know if you're gonna do it by like the top standings or kind of like bring out some more pocket picks that are not in the top 25 right now, because there are some great setters not in the top 25.
Yeah.
I'll set the tone here. I'll put Nayels Cabello at number 3.
Okay, I think that's fair. You got to set a baseline and you have to play it safe a little bit. Next up, we got Bergen Riley.
Okay, Bergen Riley, we're putting at number 1. She's definitely taking that mantle right now, being the best setter in NCAA, running the best offense, playing great defense, serving pretty well as well. I don't know what she's not doing. She's being aggressive this year too. She's literally doing everything. Yeah. So stop the haters.
Yeah, I actually hate that. I'm not gonna lie. The Bergen Riley hate is crazy.
Forced.
Next up, we got Ella Swindle.
Ella Swindle. Okay. Well, I would probably want to put her below Nayels Cabello, I think. Especially because they do run that more like 6'2" type thing, so
They do that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And then there are some mishaps, so I'll put her at number 4 right now.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, go ahead. Next up, we got Charlie Furbringer. I wanted to put her in here. Hey, she got hurt, but when she was healthy, she was looking really good.
Okay. This is where I have problems leaving 2 and 5. I didn't think that the injury made me not think about her. So, that's tough. I probably should have re-ranked it a little bit, but because of the way I did it, I'll put her at number 5.
Okay. Maybe injury tax.
Yeah, injury tax. I haven't seen her in a couple weeks. I don't know.
She was killing it, though.
Yeah, she was doing great.
There's a reason why she's here.
Yeah.
And then that means that your number 2 spot is going to be the freshman, Cassie O'Brien.
Ooh, okay.
Somewhat, you got to give her some respect. She's on one of the top teams, and she's been setting up dimes for these, like this crazy offense. You got 2 really great hitters.
Yeah.
Maybe it makes her look a little bit better, but hey, you still need a setter to get your hitters the ball.
Yeah. I mean, she's doing a great job. I mean, not too much I can complain about. I did think there were going to be some other setters out in there. I had Avery Carlson on the mind.
Yeah.
Alexis Stuckey's still there. Caroline Kerr.
Yeah.
Doing great. Taylor Anderson.
I could have thrown in like Logan Parks in here too.
Yeah, Logan Parks.
It's a lot of great
setters. Freshman setter.
Yeah.
I mean, damn. It was a tough one.
It's hard. It's really hard.
Cutting it down to only 5, I mean, you got a big pool to choose from. Yeah. So that's tough. But that'll bring us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much if you made it this far. Please like, comment, and subscribe. In the comments, again, just let us know about your favorite team, what their best match has been so far, what was accomplished in that match, at least to you, and then also what match you have to look forward to for the rest of the season. We only got a couple weeks left.
Yeah. Make sure you guys hit subscribe, man. We're going for that 1,000, baby. We'll get even more stuff coming. We got some really good ideas in the works.
Yeah.
So let's keep it rolling. And we're gearing up for end of conference play here. Maybe the tournaments are gonna be really fun.
Pre-tournament, we got a lot of stuff coming. It's gonna be great. But thanks again for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.